Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on air. Welcome to the show. Excellent. So we have a bunch of people in the room, at least 40 on the stream I'm looking at currently, 45 on Oppenheimer Ranch Project, 40 over at Magnetic Reversal News. And we want to bring you up to speed to a historic event that is going on currently in Iceland. So the Associated Press, Iceland News, almost no one out there in the blogosphere. I'm trying to throw this together rapidly. No one is reporting on the ongoing eruption in Iceland. And let's just cut to the video. And what you're looking at here in the distance there, those lights, is Grindavik town, which is on the south coast of the Reykjanes Peninsula. And in the foreground, if you can see some of those red lights going off and that white line in the middle there, that is in fact a fissure eruption that had opened up a few hours ago. Almost no one has been able to confirm it, but now it is rising above the ridge here. This is the closest camera that anyone has. And this camera is near the original eruption on Fagradalsfjall mountain, and it's facing south. So we're looking across probably tens of kilometers out to the ocean into Grindavik. Now, the bad news is that we're starting to get a little activity. And I figured after about 3 or 4 hours of this developing, we would see some fireworks tonight. And we're certainly seeing that happening right now. This is the most activity I've seen on the fissure. And you guys are seeing it live for the first time, thanks to mbl.is. So we'll link below the live stream from mbl.is. The specific one with the close-up, it's the first link below every video that we have live streaming right now. And so the fissure has opened. Now, the fissure opened earlier today. And thankfully, the reason I got back into the studio right after dinner was because someone sent me footage of the beginning of the eruption. So what we want to share with you tonight as we get started in this live stream, and I'm sure there's going to be hundreds of people pouring in. Whoa! Okay, that didn't work out so well. All right, so we do have some bugs working out here. We're working out the bugs. So let's get back to the live close-up and that fissure eruption for the people out there watching. I apologize. This is the first time we're live streaming on multiple platforms, and there's lots of technical stuff that we're dealing with. But as long as you're all here, and we promise not to do that again, we're going to be live for several hours as this fissure eruption develops. And clearly, from the angle you're looking at, the right side of the fissure here, so that kind of white smoky line in between the lights in the distance there, in the foreground there, that white smoky line those are aerosols coming from the fissure, and they are moving south. But it is clear. What is that, a helicopter? There might be a helicopter out to the left there. Yep. In fact, that is exactly what that might be. I certainly don't think that any vehicle is moving that fast. So what we're witnessing here is maybe Iceland is trying to confirm that the eruption actually happened, because there's now video of the eruption occurring. Now, this eruption is occurring between the last eruption at Fagradalsfjall and the town of Grindavik. And that's not good news for the town of Grindavik, because, well, this would potentially indicate that this lava flow in this eruption, if it is large and continuous like the last one, lasting for days, weeks, or months, that this lava is going to make it to the ocean on the south part of the peninsula and potentially affect this town of Grindavik. So that's the only bad news. The good news is that it looks like a very minor eruption currently as it begins. And just give me a thumbs up if my audio is still proper. Anybody out there? Okay, dokie, smokey. So what we're going to do here is put my face inside of this video. Okay, audio's good. Excellent. So we're going to be live tonight for several hours as this is a developing fissure eruption in Iceland between the last eruption on Fagradalsfjall mountain and the town of Grindavik. So now we're looking from that Fagradalsfjall mountain, looking a little south and a little west towards Grindavik at the region that is now cracked open in Iceland and currently erupting. And this should increase, in my opinion, over the next several hours. There has been a reduction in tremor, but that's probably because finally there is a way to get some of these gases and some of this lava out. Finally, there's a pressure release at the surface. Now, like I was saying before we got cut off, the reason I was able to get back into the studio here, first, let me give some shout outs here to Scott Hudson, Trini O'Neill, Mountain High Time. Mountain High Time is Ransom's new channel, 420 The Freedomist. He got canned again for the fourth time. So please go over to Mountain High Time and support that new channel there. Grain Salt, awesome to see in the building. Luke 2620, Mark, Sherry, Elena, Monteagudo, PFAS, Trini O'Neill, who knew? Al Kaider's in the house, Dawn Michelle, Mark, McKella, Susan Constant Drake, Orion 457, Alan Vaughn, number one, Pete Yeager, good to see you, buddy. Dolores Hussey, no one called you that. I apologize. Lord EC, Mama Duke's Alaska Off Grid, Groovy Moves, TGS Source. And the reason her moniker there is so long is because she's probably been erased from social media more times than 420 TV. We also have our guy 963, Elon Butterfield, Amber Lim with the super sticker. Boom. We appreciate you. Renee Cruz is in the house. Looking wonderful as always, Renee, in your profile pic. Now, Renee is really a 63-year-old fat diabetic guy that is in a wheelchair, but we still love her. And I'm probably just kidding there. All right. So the Awake Dream is here. Good to see you all. Hey, Diamond. All right. So now what if you just got into the house? What we're looking at is the only cam available with a close-up of the ongoing eruption that has emerged on the surface of Iceland just a few hours ago. Now, there is another YouTuber that actually captured the moment this happened, and he's been taking crap for 6 hours. Everyone's telling him he's full of BS, that he didn't find it, and he's just making stuff up for clicks. But the area what we're seeing that the lava emanating from this fissure is I think the same region he was filming. So just for fun, what we're going to do is we're going to go over and we're going to share his footage. Now, promise me you'll subscribe to his channel, give him support, and tell him why all the people are going over there. And we would appreciate that. It looks like my video is probably a little bit reduced. We are on 1080 HD right now, but it might take a while to parse that up. So we apologize if the video coming from our end is a little bit less clear. It will definitely clear up in the second iteration of this parsing up. Thank you, Michelle Little, James Reed, for coming. Rich Mountains is here. What do you remember? Renee Cruz saw a metallic, squarish, diamond-shaped extraterrestrial alien UFO in San Francisco back in 1978 when I was 12, and also an illuminated UFO orb on January 19th, 2020. Well, that's interesting. Hi, Trini O'Neill from Australia. So, Trini, you've been watching the fissure eruption. That we're sharing with you. Let's go there. Let's go back there and let's see what's going on at the fissure, shall we? All right. So if you're new here, this is a shot from Fagradalsfjall mountain looking south to Grindavik town. It looks like that the helicopter is now flying back to Grindavik. It has confirmed that, yes, the volcano is erupting. Now, what volcano are we talking about? And if you don't know where the eruption is happening, look at the center of the screen. There's a white line that goes right across the horizon there, and you can clearly see the fissure picking up in certain areas. Now, the right side of the fissure had some explosive activity just moments ago. There's no way to tell the scale of this. If we're actually looking out 6 or 8 kilometers, because I think it's about 15 kilometers from the mountain to Grindavik town. So the eruption's happening somewhere in the middle. These explosions could be hundreds of feet high. And the reason is no one is allowed to get anywhere near here because the area has been shut off. So we are lucky to have this confirming footage of the eruption occurring now. Now, enough bloviating on my end. So that being said, let us share the moment that the eruption began earlier today. And just bear with me. This takes a lot of work and a lot of skill to figure out how to be doing this all over. Now, what we're going to show you is the moment the eruption started. And this is coming from, I mean, who knows? Hertfordshire Atonement Life. Subscribe there. They got 20,000 subs. They must be doing something right. And we are going to share with you together the moment the eruption started from this channel.
The moment eruption started. And this is the events from this evening actually happened. A usual day, the camera having a pan, we are having a look at the different landscape, and suddenly we have this. A smoke, mixture of a smoke.
So there it is
ash,
now in the distance.
Volatiles, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter. This is what we see naturally. And I've intensified in this color. You can see it in relation to the Fagradalsfjall volcano, where it is. That is it. We have an eruption here. Something is smoking from the ground. There is a hole. It can be it looks like a structure or something. I thought initially that this was something like a quarry. It is continuing, so there is no quarry that continues with smoke like that all the time. So the location of it, and I've marked all the fault lines. These are the fault lines extension valleys here. You can see this is an Altai Valley, and that is the Geldingadalir Valley. And as we see here, this is the area that we were waiting since last year for the eruption to happen, and now it has happened. This is the lower ground, at least near 200 meters below the top point of the Fagradalsfjall volcano. The moment eruption started, and this is the events from this evening actually happened. A usual day, the camera having a pan, we are having a look at the different landscape, and suddenly we have this. A smoke, mixture of a smoke, ash, volatiles, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. This is what we see naturally. And I've intensified in this color. You can see it in relation to the Fagradalsfjall volcano, where it is. That is it. We have an eruption here. Something is smoking from the ground. There is a hole. It can be it looks like a structure or something. I thought initially that this was something like a quarry. It is continuing, so there is no quarry that continues with smoke like that all the time. So the location of it, and I've marked all the fault lines. These are the fault lines extension valleys here. You can see this is an Altai Valley, and that is the Geldingadalir Valley. And as we see here, this is the area that we were waiting since last year for the eruption to happen, and now it has happened. This is the lower ground, at least near 200 meters below the top point of the Fagradalsfjall volcano.
So there you have it. The moment the eruption started, and I believe that he is correct. Now, I want you all to just humor yourself and I'm going to put up the link to this video here in the chat. I wonder if this chat goes to both channels. I have no idea how this works yet. So this is the link to the video in the chat. And read the comments below. Not a single person believes that this guy captured the start of the eruption. Now, I've been watching him for some time, and because he has 20,000 subs, you have to believe right from there that he's got to be doing something slightly legitimate or interesting. So that's pretty interesting news there. Now, as far as we're going to go tonight, we're going to go deep. And the deeper and the darker it gets, the brighter and more washed out my face will be, because I bought this giant screen. When you buy new HD screens, there's no brightness adjustment on them. One of the flaws in getting these screens. So what I need to do is buy a bunch of lighting to blast me out and to equalize the light here, which I don't want to do because that's just stupid. All right. Thanks for everybody for watching. I have no idea, because I'm focusing on the show, how many people are in here. I have 165 I'm looking at over here on Oppenheimer Ranch. Thank you all for coming. Charles Winmore, Barb, Arian, I can see up here in the chat. Paul Main, No Rush is in the house. That's Jimmy. Jimmy, how was your hike? Dolores Hussey, we were just here. PFAS. Helene Bemis. Sophia. Who else do we have? Nothing as it seems. Welcome to the show. Everyone's favorite volcanologist. That's pretty awesome. Michelle Little in the house. Yes, it's going to both channels. Awesome. I'm glad you guys are out there checking my T's and dot my I's. Subbed. Sophia. Yes, Elon Butterfield. Keep up the good work. Working in those those positions as moderators. Almost everyone's a moderator that's been a long-term watcher here. I like to have everyone. I'm live on both. Yes, I am, Rebecca, and this is a first. And we spent the money to make it happen. We just had to figure out how to make that happen. All right. Now I have to realize how to use the tools to share the stuff I want to share with you moving forward here. So let's get some of the more hellos out of the way. A lot of these names I've never heard before. Sarah, Tennessee, welcome to the show. We've got Kenny Crowder, Ionic, Mike, and a new name I saw, Technolicifer Nas. Took a while to think of that one. Now Sam Abram is also in the house. Welcome, folks. Now let's just talk about what's happening, shall we? Before we go back to the well, no. Are you kidding me? Let's go back to the live stream. All right. We don't want to invite anyone. Stop clicking the wrong buttons, Diamond. This is very difficult. Please send all your good vibes to me that I'm going to do this all correctly. There's a lot of clicking. All right. We're back at the live stream, and we're between Fagradalsfjall Mountain and Grindavik town, which is on the coast, the southern coast of the Reykjanes Peninsula. The white stripe in the middle of the screen is the current fissure that has opened, and the right side where it is beginning and where you can see some explosive pops happening on the far right side is probably the initial opening that we just showed you a moment ago earlier in the day from where that smoke was emanating. So that will become probably the first cinder cone, and then it looks like there's a secondary cinder cone just a few hundred meters to the south of there that's also illuminating. Now, the problem is that there are no live stream cameras allowed anywhere around here because of regulations, and this particular one is the only one at the correct angle to actually see this when we started the program. Now, there might be other live streams out there, but I doubt it because the AP didn't even have up this eruption. No one has confirmed the eruption. Volcano Discovery hasn't confirmed the eruption. Icelandic newspapers haven't confirmed the eruption, but what we just witnessed when we went live was a helicopter moving around the fissure here, shining a light on it, and then clearly that was the geophysical people in Iceland confirming the eruption. So we're probably going to see the entire blogosphere light up with the fact that Iceland has now began re-erupting. So that's pretty badass. What up, Chris? Diamond. Yeah, what's up? No rush. Still hiking. Awesome. You must have a good signal up there if you're on top of the ridge. Barb, Arian, Alan, good to see you again. Norman Hode. Hi from Canada. What's up, Canada? Terry Sheaves back in the house. How you doing, Terry? Commentator, we love you, and we love you commentating. There is no nightlight settings on these monitors, unfortunately. It's not a phone. What's up, Eric Court? Chris Dimon, Darren David Joseph, welcome from California. Lady Bigelow, watching from Western Maine. It's insane. Awesome to see all these people. New names. Jan Graham. Wow, finally made it live. Glad to see you. Willie Fix-It. Been here for years. Yeah, Willie, you're one of the originals. Hello. K-Town, Cosmic Gypsy. That's a newbie. Virginia Schauble, AAA Beverages, Red Wolf. Now you're over in the San Luis Valley, so God bless you. That's my neighbor over there. Dude, that's a dude with a flashlight. No, dudes with flashlights cannot cover that amount of ground, nor do they hover above erupting volcanic fissures. But you are the dude anyway. All right, let's get to some geology, and we'll show you what's going on. Eric Court with a 420 boom. Hello. Yeah, and so anybody that gives me a super chat, I'm going to be able to throw it right up on here. I just figured out how to do that. Eric Court is the first famous super chatter ever, followed by Amber Lynn, the first super chat of the night. So this is a pretty cool feature as we're working out the kinks. So get famous. If you want to say something, you want to shout out your business or anything you're doing, just buy a super sticker like Amber Lynn. And you can just put that info there. I promise I will put it all up here as the live stream is going. Just like I can throw Mama Dukes up here in an instant. We are working out the kinks, and this is becoming quite the fun interactive program. Now let's take a look back up here. We see another aircraft moving above there. Probably secondary confirmation of what we initially thought was happening, an eruption. Now, the fact that no one has picked up the fact that there's an eruption based on the observations of the glowing explosive areas along this rift, completely mind-blowing. It's almost as if there's not a recession, but I do digress. All right, so let's cover, because this is going to be erupting all night, and we have a little lull here. I guarantee by the end of the live stream, we're going to see some more fireworks on this ridge. So let's share a few more screens and get a little smarter. Thank you, Kay Ryan, with the super sticker. Beautiful. We love you too. And that's just how it works. Now, what we're going to look at here, let's take a look. I pulled up a bunch of geology and screens to explain everything that's going on here. Well, first, let's look at live the Reykjanes Peninsula and the earthquakes that are occurring now. How about we do that? All right, so what you're looking at on the top is the map of the Reykjanes Peninsula. So the actual eruption is not happening on the right side where all the stars are, but probably more in the middle here and to the south, down here. And we'll get to the inflation map to show you where I think it's happening. And more importantly, we can get to the volcanic map where we can pretty much pinpoint where we know it's happening. All right. So what we want to bring your attention to here on this graph is just the sheer number of earthquakes that have happened. What you're looking at here is a time series that lasts 48 hours. And the eruption has been going on far greater than that. Probably we're about 90 hours since the seismic tremor began. And now it was less than that. And now the eruption is occurring. That's brilliant. All right. So this is the amount of earthquakes. So when you go to that graph, which is the Reykjanes Peninsula earthquakes, this is the amount of earthquakes in live time and you can just keep updating it to see. And what we can see is that the amount of earthquakes is in 4 days. Kenny Crowder with the $20 boom. Boom to Kenny. You're always on it. And I like it. Love to you and Leah. Thank you, Kenny. We appreciate you. Yeah, I dropped everything because I'm like at dinner and I'm like, oh my God, it's happening. But I have to confirm it. So, and when I get a video of some smoke, that doesn't mean anything. So I had to come here and confirm it. It took a few hours. And when I found that close-up video, there's very few people that can understand what we're looking at here. And that is 100% because of saturation. It's at night. These are crappy cameras. It could be anything. Just like the one guy who said it was a guy with a flashlight. He doesn't know what he's looking at. But I have been looking at videos at night of helicopters and wildfires and other crazy things for years. So I have a very good grasp on what's going on, which is I'm the first person to come out of the box like Kay Ryan with the 199 boom. You're 72 tomorrow. Well, I'm 51 this month. So right back at you. We're both in the prime of our lives. All right, let's just give some props to people in the room. Bog Caddy, Sassafras Red, welcome to the show. Mitch Hawkins, Ken Luitz, no hunt cake for Al. No, it's bunt cake. You know, the little circular one with the, anyway. Sarah, Tennessee, welcome. Sue Hayes, Ruv News has confirmed this is a moss fire. Yeah, well, the moss fire was lit. A moss fire. Yes. Ruv has confirmed this is a moss fire with explosive activity. So, in order to light the moss, you need magma. Or a guy probably that lit it out there. But because this is a linear feature here with, well, I just don't believe that. So let's go confirm that. But before we go over there and waste some time confirming stuff we don't want to confirm, let us let's share some more screens, shall we? All right. So what we're going to do is go over here and nope. Yeah, we'll first look at the micro tremor. So this is the micro tremor since the event started. So we have 24, 48, 72. We're about 90 hours. Yeah, I was correct on that. So we have about 90 hours of continuous tremor. And let's share another screen here. What we're going to do is go over and look at, these are the volcanoes on that peninsula. Now, the last eruption occurred at Fagradalsfjall, which is just east and north of Grindavik. And you can see some of those lava flows in there. I believe potentially they are in gray. And so the position of the camera is on Fagradalsfjall Mountain, right on the probably the eastern side here, shooting south and west towards Grindavik. So maybe one of these pink circles, especially this easternmost or one of these rifts, is the area that we're looking at. Now, if this is in fact a moss fire, no one is allowed out in this region. So why there would be a moss fire is anyone's guess, unless the magma has come up here. And we saw that smoke earlier. People called them on it. And maybe Ruv confirmed a moss fire earlier in the day, but the explosions we have seen on the right side of this line are not indicative of moss fires. unless moss is explosive. So we're going to keep a close eye on this as we continue to stream live. And we're going to go check out some of the updates. Thanks, Al, from Ruth. So stay tuned. So a few people have commented that this may be a moss fire. So we're looking into that currently. Now, the initial video that we showed you earlier could very well be a moss fire, but the reason a moss fire would light is because there's a crack in the surface and some magma coming up there. Now, the reason we don't think this is a moss fire is because just about 30 minutes ago, the right side of this region was exploding with light. And then another region, maybe tens of meters to the south, was also illuminating. And we still see that illumination coming up and down here by the arrow. And I don't know many fires that continue to burn in the same exact position that explode and come back down in nature. Because once moss is burned, it would move on to more moss. But these explosions have been happening in the same two regions for quite some time. So don't believe everything you read, especially from the media. So we're going to go bring up some of those RUV headlines, and we're going to see what we can talk about. So bear with us as we keep this live, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Take maybe a few seconds. All right, we got some experts going to be coming in the house. We want a big shout out to Rich Mountain, paying for a steak dinner. Good news, Leah's sister's in the house for the next 7 days. She should get here tomorrow night, and we're going to have a great time showing her around. She hasn't been here for 7 years, for goodness sakes. Now, there is no information coming up from Ruve that this is a moss fire. There's tons of stories of moss fires in this area for a while. And we're going to maybe show you some evidence why this region here, and there it is. There's that, we're looking at poor video saturation. So anytime that something has different illumination, it's going to show up a little bigger than it was. Remember seeing that helicopter come by here? So again, big thank you to Rich Mountains with the steak dinner super sticker. I don't even know what that is. That's a massive super chat. And he is a pure blood like I am and many others that are watching this channel. Oh, so CNN said it was? Oh, Jerry Springer. All right, so no one else is bringing any information. We just invited Ransom, 420 the Freedomist, which is now Mountain High Films, I believe. What's the name of Ransom's channel? Please help me out. Mountain High Time. All right, we invited him to come on the show here. He's doing a little bit of research himself. And I will be in Crestone for my birthday. Yes, Rev Red Wolf. Yes, in fact, I rented an apartment right downtown next to the Energy Fair for the entire weekend. So I'm going to be literally, here's my booth, and then I just go to my apartment. That's simple. Yeah, just Icelandic, a big shout out to him. His videos are fantastic because he's just like me, only he lives there, so he can drive there. And he has a little bit more information because he's Icelandic. So he has a lot of the historicals. He's lived there. He's lived through it. And it's really nice to watch what he has to say. And it's everything that I have been thinking and coalescing. So just Icelandic and I have very similar viewpoints, which is kind of fantastic. And that's according to Lady Bigelow. And we agree with you. Alma Kelly wishing me a very early happy birthday. That's a month away. August 28th, ladies and gentlemen. Saucy Wench is here. What did you miss? Well, we're trying to figure it out, and we're waiting for Ransom to get into the house. Now, let's talk about a little bit about what has been happening in this region, shall we? And why we think that an eruption is imminent or happening now, currently just north of Grindavik. So what we're going to share with you is, there it is. Now, this came out yesterday, and this is processed by Adriano Nobile, or Adrian Noble, however you want to say it. And Adriano Nobile is clearly Italian. But what he took was the ISCAR data or the NCAR data. He took some satellite data that goes with the GPS monitoring, and this is an 11-day array. So it's from July 20th to the 1st, and it's showing the massive areas of uplift. Now, the main area of uplift is literally exactly where we're shooting the camera. And so let's bring you, Grindavik is just east of that nugget. All right. So see this nugget here? Let me make sure you're looking at that. Okay. No, let me get rid of it. Rich, I'm going to take you off the screen for a minute, and I apologize because that is a fantastic super chat. And thank you. We appreciate you. But you see this little nugget down here? Grindavik town is right here. And so the shot is from Fagradalsfjall to Geldingadalir town. So it might be right here that the eruption is occurring, if we're showing you the eruption. But who said it was a moss fire, and where did they go? Sue is dead right. I told you. Dude, Sue. Big and Reich. What am I missing? Big and Reich. Awesome, Rich. Thank you, Rich. Once again, like and share, y'all. Boom, spleef time. Terry Simmons. Mass Psychosis Media Psychology. Got my solar panels. Rish Boom. Eric Grader. Al Gore. All right. All right. We're waiting for some confirmation. And 420 is in the house. So let's bring him in to the stream. All right. Okay. Ransom, can you square yourself up in the picture? You're a little bit. There you go. All right. What did you learn?
It seems like
turn your audio down just a tiny bit.
Okay.
Good.
My mic?
Yeah, your mic.
Yeah. All right. There we go. How's that?
Right. What did you learn?
The politician over there, his name is Gisli Olafsson, if I said that right. He's been saying there's going to be an eruption for a day at least. He posted one 8 hours ago that's they're waiting on it right there.
But you didn't find any confirmation at Iceland.
No, this is just a prediction from today.
Okay.
And I didn't see anything about a moss fire anywhere.
Okay, cool. Neither did I, because I tried to run it. But were you here on the show early enough to watch the early video, which is from about 5 hours ago, of that smoke right at sunset?
Yeah.
And what do you
too. That's not a moss fire. That's something really big.
Yeah. Because the distance is far away. So let's bring the live stream back in and see what's going on there. So here we're on the screen with the deformation map. This came out yesterday. So this is 48-hour deformation. And what happened yesterday also was that a lot of the tiltimeters, when you go actually to the Icelandic geophysical site where we share that has all the earthquakes on it, when you click on tremor or you click on GPS and you go look at some of those graphs, it showed in the last 24 hours, 20 centimeter uplifts on some of the tiltimeters. So what happened yesterday was the ground went up. I mean, that's 20 centimeters, right? It's like, I think it's more than it's just about a foot, maybe a foot's like 30.5 centimeters. I don't know. So we're talking 8 inches of the ground going up in one day. So that gave a lot of people some pause. And have you heard anything about that? You're muted.
No, I just got updated on the Oppenheimer Ranch project. It's the latest in this kind of news.
Yeah, because I was flabbergasted. I'm watching this guy sent me this video 4 hours ago, the smoke. Then I went over to the close up from the actual Icelandic, the only reporter that has a camera on Fagradalsfjall mountain, and he's pointing a close up at this line of explosions happening in a line, and the explosions are happening at the same spot every time. And if you had a fire, that's a fire like moves. Because there's no trees and stuff here in Iceland. You got very little stuff. So how a patch of moss can be re-illuminating itself for hours is beyond me.
I might be slow, but moss is usually really wet and hard to light on fire, is it not?
Unless there's a drought and it's dry.
I don't think there is one there.
All right, so we're back here at the white line. The elusive white line. And this is the mbl.is cam that is on kind of the area where the last eruption happened. And it's shooting towards Grindavik, which is a small town and the only town threatened by this eruption. And if this is in fact a moss fire, well, then it should be nothing of note. And probably, I mean, why the helicopters just came out for a good reason, don't you think? Yeah,
absolutely. They checked it at different altitudes. You notice the second time they were quite a bit higher.
Yeah. So what do you think at night? What could you be able to assess if you see fire? But do you think they're trying to confirm that there's some kind of magma lighting things on fire? Because there's just so few things on the surface to light on fire. How could there?
This guy, he's MP for a private party in Iceland, and the post that he put said that the magma was moving at twice the pace, and they just posted that 8 hours ago.
Yeah, we confirmed that last night that based on the data, the magma had been rapidly moving toward the surface and it was at 1 kilometers. But then the activity in the last since your 8-hour post has been reduced quite a bit as far as seismicity. But if the magma is already in place, it already cracked all the rock. So the most of the seismic activity is going to occur as the magma goes from like 10 kilometers up towards the surface. That's when you crack the rock and the crust. So once it's there, you're going to see a reduction in seismic activity, and then you'll see an eruption.
Maybe I should just ask this guy in Iceland if there's a moss fire there.
Do you know?
Is he listening?
Are you linked?
No, I don't know him. I'll just tweet him and see what he says.
Yeah, let's tweet that guy. When did that tweet come up? 8 hours ago?
Yeah, I'll just retweet him. Is there a moss fire or an eruption?
Yeah, so we're trying to confirm what's happening here on this particular rim. Now, when we started the podcast, there was pretty significant activity at the beginning of this line of smoke, but now there's almost nothing happening. About, I don't know, tens or hundreds of meters from the beginning of this line, there was a secondary area that was reoccurring. And didn't look like any wildfire that I've ever seen, but I just did have some footage of some bushfires from May, because when I was trying to search moss fire in Iceland, I have some footage of that. So let's bring that up and talk about that. How about we do that?
Yeah, so I sent him your link and I asked him the question. We'll see if we get a response.
Yeah, let's get a response live here. That'd be nice. So back in May 20th, 15 hectares were damaged by wildfire. We do have video. I can't get this to stop. This is insane. Oh, there we go. All right. So let's look at what a moss fire looks like, because we're all here. We might as well look at what a moss fire looks like, shall we? All right, let's take a look at this together. Everyone, bear with me. Moss-covered area damaged by wildfire. And we're going to look at what the 15-hectare, 37-acre moss-covered lava field and Geldingadalir Valley in West Iceland look like. Should be fun. Now, we saw the earlier video of that stream.
Þegar við komum á staðinn þá eru það bil svona 6-7 hektarar alls.
Plus we get to work on our Icelandic.
Hvernig gekk að takast á við eldinn?
Sko, það gekk bara þokkalega. Við byrjum á því strax að koma með svona ákveðið gameplan að búa til varnarlínur til þess að stöðva útbreiðslu sem að gekk bara vonum framar. Menn bara pössuðu sig.
Are they going to show us it burning, for goodness sake?
En þetta allt svo
okay.
Sem að
That was useless. I apologize. We tried. I actually saw a picture of another moss fire. Why don't you bring, do you get any responses yet there, Ransom?
Negative.
All right. And you think if you put this, I've got this up in Google, I've got this up in free search engines, and I got no news. I got shark sighting coming up from moss fire. No, I got nothing. So I wish that someone who was on this stream looks like non-burning moss. All right, let's go back to the live stream. Chime in anytime you want, Ransom.
Yeah, all I can find is about all the, 4,000 earthquakes or whatever in the. That's all I'm seeing for anything in new news. 15 hours ago.
Yeah.
See, this is the #1 spot to find out what's happening. So it's kind of hard to go look at what's happening when this is the place.
Yeah, well, clearly what we can see here is a reduction in seismic activity. I mean, very clear. But what we see also is in the last 6 hours, we had greater than 3 magnitude earthquakes, just less earthquakes in general, much less. And so that's what we can see from the data set. This is a live data set. So the earthquakes have been reducing and have now reduced the most they have ever been since the beginning of this seismic crisis. So this is the least amount of earthquakes since the seismic crisis. About 8 to 12 hours ago, we have officials saying that the magma rapidly has moved to the surface. And based on what I just told you a little bit ago, it makes sense that after all the magma comes up and it's sitting there, you're going to get a reduction in seismic activity until maybe a big crack or a big boom. So maybe we should be looking for a big earthquake. What are your thoughts?
This is a year after the same place erupted, right?
Just about, yeah. It erupted for 3 months.
So you're kind of on. Oh wow. Sorry.
What happened?
Bunch of audio flooded me. No, I was saying, if you guys are the first looking at it, the guys stream there, why wouldn't anybody else be covering it? Are they not enthused about all those people moving potentially?
Well, yeah. So here was the big problem with the eruption. And let's go back to that graphic. So those of you who are watching, some of you are up to speed, some of you are not up to speed. The big problem was the position of where this eruption may occur. So if I can just share the right screen here with you. Let's go here. Yeah, this is perfect. All right, so this is the uplift that just came out yesterday. That is 11 days of uplift on the peninsula. And you can see that the major uplift is happening up in the middle here of the peninsula. Now, if the eruption happened just north of this uplift, somewhere in this region, the lava would flow north across the main highway and would cut off the main airport. But because what we're pointing at is way down here in the south towards Grindavik, Grindavik is in this little bay down in here by this peninsula. And so what we think we're looking at is the uplift in here where the fissure is. That's based on everything that I've seen. This is the area we're looking at with the smoke. If the lava comes out up here, north of where Fagradalsfjall was, it will actually flow north and cover the major highway, cutting off the airport. Down here, it's only chances to go to Grindavik and cut off a small town. So this is a much better scenario. Albeit both scenarios are terrible.
So somebody's moving.
Yeah, we're not getting to the airport.
Plan ahead. I was thinking, we should start trying to flip houses there. There still should be a lot of really ignorant people, so we could buy cheap houses and then sell them to people right before they need to move.
Yeah.
Is that bad? Okay.
No, I mean, it's kind of bad. But I did invite you on the show. So, all right. So here we are. We're looking at the area in question. There's very little activity going on here.
Earlier, I saw 2 distinct spots popping up stuff there.
Yeah, we had one spot on the right at the very beginning of this line and a spot tens or hundreds of meters south of there. And it seems like all is quiet on the Western Front. Now, what we can do, let's see what they're talking about here in the live stream. How about we go there? And that could be pretty revealing.
I've been both of them.
Are you looking at the chat? Is it in English? Oh, it's disabled.
It's not for me.
Yeah, the Geldingadalir Volcano Iceland live close-up has gone from 3,000 viewers. It's now down to 1,000 viewers since we started the stream because there's no more activity happening here. So clearly, people have been disenchanted. Now I'm going to open up one more live stream here. The Volcano Iceland monitor.
So I'm guessing your Oppenheimer Ranch project is somewhat shadow banned because I never get notifications from that channel. And this is a new channel, and I'm subbed, and I got the bell clicked. Don't get nothing.
You got nothing from which channel?
Oppenheimer Ranch. I always get notifications from Magnetic Reversal News, but never from the Oppenheimer Ranch project.
Now we've got like porn channels in here. Please, guys, block these users out of here. That's your job.
Do it.
All of a sudden, a bunch of porn channels just showed up. That's like it. Magnetic Reversal News is famous for that.
So
All right.
I saw a thing, and I was going to ask you about. They were saying that Florida had, an extreme heat event because they went 1 degree over what they had 78 years ago.
Yeah, that's the one thing. So now the mainstream media has redefined recession. They also redefined heat wave. Heat wave used to be 5 days or more above 90 or 100, depending on the type of heat wave. But now if it's hot for 2 days, it's a heat wave. And it's the biggest heat wave ever because it lasted for 2 days. Just like the one that happened in the UK last week.
Yeah. People where I live are convinced we're having the hottest summers ever. And I'm like, I've lived here my whole life. It's pretty mild this year, really.
Yeah, it is. It is a pretty cool year. And especially where I am with all this rain. Oh my goodness. People are like wondering, like every headline in the newspaper is drought. And they're like, well, it's rained for 17 days. I don't think I'm believing your drought hypothesis.
It's actually really green down here. As far as native species, I've been having trouble with corn, but everything else seems to be going nuts now that monsoon came.
All right, where is what channel is? Let's get rid of these people. Man, I got a lot of. This is crazy. You're a moderator over on Oppenheimer Ranch, aren't you?
No, I have a new
right.
channel.
All right, everyone wants to know what your new channel is, so shout that out.
It's Mountain High time because I'm in the mountains and I'm high.
Can you throw up a link in the chat there?
Yeah.
All right, so we're switching here, and I'm trying to go over to, my goodness. Canadian Freak, yeah, we have a VPN on. Just a lot to do here. We're trying to figure out what's going on here near Grindavik, and hopefully it is not an eruption, but everything is pointing to it as being an eruption, which is why we're live here. But the best thing I can be is wrong. And I don't see anything coming out of that spot. Are you watching it? Because I'm doing other stuff.
Yeah, it just looks like smoke right now.
Okay. Well, and the way that the seismicity is, there's Mama Dukes. Mama Dukes, Alaska Off-Grid Groovy, TGS Source. It says that you're a moderator, but let me try to fix that. All right, so those of you that don't know, the Crestone Energy Fair is coming up. So those that are listening that are local to the Four Corners region, you can get over to Crestone. For my birthday weekend, August 27th, 8th, and 9th, I believe the fair goes on, and they need some volunteers there. It's a free event. You can go for free. All right, somebody's coming in here with a light.
Yeah.
We've got some activity. All right, so let's see what's going to go on now.
I imagine they'd be flying drones by now too.
Do they have drones with nighttime capability? I guess probably.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, but this clearly looks like
Wow.
a car coming up from that angle. And if this is a moss fire, what we're going to see is if they can get there, some firefighting capability. If they can get there on ground, they'll do that. That's the cheapest. And if they're going to use air, well, then we would see clearly some planes here. But this looks like a vehicle that was on the ground that's driving towards that plate. Yeah, definitely. Multiple lights on the ground moving towards the area. It could be aliens. What do you think?
I was about to say UFOs. Literally, when I saw the one go back and forth there.
Commentator wants a wrench. What channel are you on, commentator?
Besides, volcanic activity is always, there's a aircraft there flying over.
Yeah, so we got a lot of activity going on here. So something is afoot, and we are live figuring out what's going on there. Commentator, what channel are you on? I have to know that. All right, so what's going on here at the smoke? These vehicles are driving up in the smoke. Now, that would be pretty ballsy if there was a volcanic fissure there, don't you think? Now, they're approaching. There's two spots. So if they go any further, they're going to hit where the big burning was.
Yeah, they're almost there now where they just lit it up.
Yeah. Oh, and there
You see it?
it's lighting up again just as they get there.
Yeah, see, that looked like a drip, not a fire. You see it? It came out, it fell down.
Yeah, something is amiss here. Dude, we know. We saw them there earlier, dude. Dude, we know. What are they doing? You said it was a guy walking with a flashlight, but that's clearly, this is a vehicle, dude. It looks like the Marfa lights. Yeah, this could be definitely an alien intervention in Iceland, but probably not. And hopefully just a moss fire. But notice how they stopped way before those two areas that we saw lighting up earlier. So there's clearly a reason that these guys stopped way before there. And now they've turned the lights off. So we are live, and maybe they're going to, there it is. It's lighting up again. Yep. You see it?
Yep. I was going to say that.
All right. Now this glow is in front of the white line. Do you notice that?
Yeah. It looked like it dripped down a hill.
All right. Yeah. So, and fire doesn't drip.
Plus that would have to be like really, really big, right? From this distance. I didn't know the scale before. That's why I thought somebody was walking around.
Yeah, well, also the problem is it's night and the cameras are cheap. So when anything, it just changes brightness, you get saturation. So it just, it glares out.
Yeah, it looks like they're stopping at that point. They're not going any further.
Now, but they do have the light on and they're kind of pointing it that way. So this is cool. And I still have no updates anywhere. So I'm going to be looking at that. I'm going to go back and looking for some... Any headlines maybe coming out here. And there, look, it just blasted up again. The fire came up and the light. Now, this is the funny thing. We're over here near Grindavik town waiting for Fagradalsfjall or one of these fissure eruptions to occur, when they just raised the alert level at Grimsvotn. So they just brought that up from 3 to 4 to the highest rating at Grimsvotn, because a lot of the volcanoes on Iceland, the bigger volcanoes that erupt VEI 3 to 5, are also reacting to this magma intrusion, which is quite interesting.
It looks like it's dripping right now.
Yeah.
What would cause it to shine blue for a second?
I think it's just the camera, maybe the lighting. So
Yeah.
it's super hot. It goes blue. I missed that. Did it just like light up?
Yeah, it lit up in two spots in the same spot above and below. It looked like it dripped again, but for a second it looked like a blue flash.
Yeah. So Grimm's vote in Volcano today was alert status was raised to yellow.
See? A blue something just went up in the sky right there.
No, I got to keep my eye on this.
Something from that spot.
As Farah said, it went green. Cato Ninetail says sulfur. Now, sulfur, does sulfur burn blue?
I don't think so.
Sharon Gaguilo says plasma. Al Gore says, I'm super hot. That's why I turned blue. Kevin Burke confirms sulfur burns blue. Exactly. Big blue, flashy, probably gases. What the heck was that, says Snow Thunder. Deep Valley of Dead Souls screaming for help, according to Cheyenne. Meaty ore, says Cat O'Ninetails. It's the color of its elements. Now, I don't believe or support any of the things I just read. I just support the people that wrote them. Yes. All right, so they got Grimm's voting up. Now, just to change it up here, let's go take a look at that. Let's go look at Grimm's vote and see what's happening now live. Why not? Let's do it because we have the capability. So let's go over to, no, that's not the one. This is the one we want. All right, so we're here at the Reykjanes Peninsula earthquakes. We're going to refresh it live, and we're going to see if it's, all right, there's still very good activity. We just had looks like a 2.6, multiple earthquakes that are registering up in the normal range. And we're going to go over to the Vatnajökull Glacier. This is where Grimsvötn is. That's where the large 3.6 occurred right there about 12 hours ago. Nothing happening. So this little flurry of activity is what they were worried about, and it seems to have been reduced. Really nothing happening there. Some activity happening up here at Hekla. No, Astra. This is Astra here by the lake there. But it's interesting that the activity is happening on the other side of the lake when the uplift is happening on the western side of the lake. There is seismic activity happening on the eastern side of the lake. So
there's a new spot further towards the water right there.
What, on the live stream?
Yeah.
All right, let's go back there.
It's orange. And it
Go back there.
It looked like it just moved really fast. And
Was it? Could it be someone that's looking around down there?
Unless they're moving at light speed, no way.
Look, there's another fire off in the distance over here. Oh, that's a light, maybe.
Weird.
All right, so we're back to the close-up. We're looking from Fagradalsfjall Mountain southwest towards Grindavik town. And there is something afoot here. People moving around here.
Yeah, see it?
Yeah, I'm like, that was a real quickie.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. What are they doing?
Is that something coming up and shooting out? Is that why it looks like that?
Well, we know that the main source of light is a vehicle that just got there. So,
yeah, I'm looking at the other feed. It's a little clearer. Yeah, there's something lighting up orange color closer towards the water. That's where it looks like something's been shooting up stuff from that spot.
it's as if the people investigating it are not trying to get close at all.
No.
Staying far away as they move around, as I would be doing, because, I don't think I want to get lit on fire. All right, so we'll keep this going for a bit. I'm going to do a little bit of headline research, and you keep an eye on this live stream, what they're doing while I'm doing the research.
All right.
So I don't get faux pod.
Yeah, it looks like they're setting up a camp or something right there at that spot.
So on other live streams, there's no information at this time. Nobody knows what's going on down there. Lightning very rarely happens in Iceland. And no, it wasn't lightning because someone would have seen it. You can still hear me, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Nobody knows what the hell these people with the flashlights are doing.
Right.
It's crazy, man.
We could start a what's
See, this
going
is the
on
beauty of
hashtag.
the internet. The beauty of the internet is we have so many live streams going on around the world. If you have the ability to search it out and research what's going on, I mean, this is like way before an article can be written for a newspaper where, who's awake right now and cares about this other than people like us? We're chomping at the bit for this kind of stuff.
Right. And what's also funny is I found out, scrolling through social media is faster than any news site did anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're picking it up before they put it down. And then when they put it down anyway, it has their slant on it. So we're just giving you the information that we're looking at now as it occurs, which is probably some of the best reporting happening in a while on anything. Even if it is only emergency preparedness out there to confirm or deny a moss fire or an eruption, it's coming to you live. And this is such a remote area of Iceland. This area of Iceland has never been covered like this. And it all stems from that first eruption, which is pretty awesome.
I see somebody else posting 3 hours ago, is this a new start of an eruption? It looks like they're using the same feed as you have.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then 3 hours ago, that's what I saw when I was at dinner. I went and looked at it. I was like, holy crap, that's a fissure eruption.
So is this related to the earthquakes earlier, the 5.2 and etc.?
Well, the earthquakes have been switching from the north of the peninsula down south in this region, the larger quakes, and they've been bouncing back and forth. So people were guessing that this might be a region where the lava would come up. And then we could see another UFO or a speedboat up there. It's probably a helicopter.
Yeah, literally, you're like probably the only thing on the internet besides this guy's live stream right now about this.
Well, let's shout out that dude. Who is that guy?
The guy that's tweeting stuff is Art Etchik, and he's got some weird videos here. Here, I'll tweet you one right now.
Welcome to the live stream, Amelia Porcella. Al Qaeda still in the house. Zefon, never saw you in the house. Welcome to the show, Victor Crosby, the Vernon 52. Some new names. Who else did I see in here that I've never seen before? Richard Risks.
Yeah, they have a zoomed in version of this before the sun goes down. It looks like two guys with hard hats with lights walking around the smoking vent.
Where did that come in? Where did
That
you
was
send me
6
that?
hours ago. I just tweeted it.
Can you send me the link?
Yeah.
You tweeted it directly to me?
Yep.
On the tweet box?
In the tweeters.
The Twitter sphere? Okay. Skip this for now. All right, let's get to that. Let's open this up. I bet you that's on loop. Man, you can share screen if you want.
Okay, let's see here. How do I do it?
Maybe I have to stop mine. I can get it up quicker than you because I already have it up here.
Sweet.
On the tweet box.
Actually, I already have it kind of going on like that. Let's see.
All right, so this is a close-up of right at sunset, and I was looking at this kind of footage early, and so these guys are trying to get close to it. There they are on it. What is the assessment? Is there any? What's the assessment of this video?
Just looks like some guys, probably geologist people there that are recognizing it's an eruption. So why ain't it on the news yet?
Yeah, they're definitely going there to confirm or deny something. They're not there. They're not firefighters. They don't have equipment. They're not putting out the moss.
Oh, maybe they're lighting the moss on fire. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
But let's go. But yeah, this is incredible. See, I can't research the things below this tweet because I'm sharing the tweet. So you have to go below the tweet and look at all the things now. You picking it up what I just put down?
Oh, yeah. Here, let's see here.
I can duplicate it and do it faster than you, but let me click on it. Let me click on the original. This is coming from R. Esch. Fagradalsfjall hashtag. And so the approximate location of the smoking spot is approximately west of the old crater at Fagradalsfjall. And I can open that for you in just a minute. I have a map. And so we can actually see that smoking region. It's exactly where I thought it was. So that's good news. And just really nothing else.
That's it.
Of value. All right, so we can show you the position. Let me open the image. And that's going to be
this is breaking. This is top of the line now information.
CBS Twing. Let's stop the screen and let's go to the position of where we're looking at this. Where did you go? You're muted.
I was just showing the same thing you were showing through my video feed.
Oh, so that must have been trippy.
I don't think I was on.
All right, so this is the location of where this particular area is. So if you're just joining us, about 4 hours ago, a video was shared. That was claiming that an eruption had potentially begun here. People early in my live stream claimed it was a moss fire, and this is the location. Grindavik town is south of this red circle. The orange area is where the lava flows happened last year. I'm sorry. That lasted for 3 months. So we're just west and a little south of that region and anything going on in the live stream.
No, well, right when I said no, something lit up there. Looks like the sun's about to come up.
That makes sense. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let us get back to sharing that. The live close-up. All right, here we are. We're back where we thought the Reykjanes Peninsula was erupting earlier. Clearly, there's no activity here. I don't see any more lights. And we saw activity earlier in the night before the sunset and recent as just about 10 minutes ago.
right when I looked at it live, a little thing lit up.
Okay, so we'll keep here for a little bit, and let's take some questions. We got more porn on here, guys. Can we please get this out of here? Get rid of the porn as soon as it comes up.
We already a love chat. We don't need their help.
Jesus, this is for children here. So Ransom, shout out, put up links to your new YouTube channel so you can get a lot of people going over there.
Already. It's mountain high time.
Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, we're really a hotbed for German porn. Has been publishing ads on our Magnetic Reversal News channel. And it might be because YouTube has not really shadow banned that channel, and we're still up in the algorithm there. In fact, they want to try to help expand that channel. It's just kind of bizarre as far as we're concerned. What do you think? What do you think about that, Ransom?
I think it's bizarre because I'm even on a new account and I still don't get any notifications. You know, actually, the best way to know when you're going live is Twitter. I see it there first every time.
You tell me that. So at least 15, 20 minutes before I'll put up a live, I put it on Twitter. I put it on, what's that other thing? Reddit. Yeah. Our Cosmic, we have a Reddit over at, on Reddit, we have a channel called Cosmic Catastrophe. So if you're listening now and you don't know about it, go over there to Cosmic Catastrophe on Reddit and become a member there. We're always up on Reddit. I am at Diamond the Dave on Twitter, which when you go to Diamond the Dave on Twitter, it'll be Oppenheimer Ranch Project, so you know it's me. And so that's where Ransom is able to get the updates immediately. And most of the other people, they're like, well, what was happening was about a year ago, if I put up like a premiere or a live stream coming in an hour, you were getting the, they weren't telling you for about 2 hours after the show started. Remember that?
Yeah, they do that. It's crazy.
Yeah. And so I was like, wait a minute. So I was looking at it and the same thing happened. Like after I went live about an hour and a half later, it gave me the warning. Live stream coming.
That's one of their little tricks to try to demonetize without actually doing it.
They're like, no, we're sharing it. We share it. We promise. We just share it hours after you start.
Yeah, he's zoomed all the way out.
All right. So he's over it. Wow. We've just been shut down from our only cam potentially showing a moss fire. So whoever said it was a moss fire, they may have been correct. What are your thoughts?
I don't think so. What I was looking at didn't look like a moss fire. Maybe they're just looking at a new area right here that we're not updated about.
Yeah, so let's see what happens here as it happens.
Or people are asking questions and they just move the camera. You don't want to cause a panic before the authorities tell you that something's happening. Yeah, there's this. I think he just panned out for the sunrise. That's what's going on.
So what is the source nbl.is? Does anyone know that? Ransom, do you know?
NBLIS? I'll look it up. I don't know.
Angela Bloom, there is no lava from 17 hours ago anywhere. If there's any lava footage from the peninsula, it's from the old eruption that people are just rehashing. There has been no lava witnessed on the surface. The only potential possibility of eruption is what we showed over the last several hours coming from this region between Fagradalsfjall and Grindavik town, which may very well be a moss fire as far as I'm concerned. But the way that Ransom has looked at it, and I've seen it, and the way that it progressed, either they're small fires that quickly, rapidly flare up and look like an eruptive fissure or not. I mean, what do you have to say on as far as what I'm talking about here?
It didn't really look like fires because it happened so fast. Like you said, it might have been a flare up, but you would think you would see some kind of glow of the main fire going. So it looked like, to me, it looked like little bits of lava coming out and dripping down the side of a hill.
Yeah, because of that quick progression, it just like goes boom, boom, bloop. I mean, fire doesn't move that quickly. But again, we're talking about cheap cameras, live stream cameras, saturation issues deep late at night. So, you know, who knows if someone just lighting a match could look like that.
I don't think that could do it. That was quite a distance, and cameras pick up less light. Look, you can see somebody flying over past that area right there.
Yeah.
A little to the right.
Yeah, we can see a plane up there.
Yeah, so if that's a plane, I doubt you could see people playing with matches.
Yeah, good point. Good point. So we've panned out, and now we're looking at Grindavik from the original eruption site. And we're trying to keep track of all of these.
I'm wondering if these other things aren't other strips of smoke. What is that down here on the ground?
Yeah, that's definitely some residual smoke, but there's been fumarolic activity from the old eruption continuing since the end of the eruption. So it's not new. What we're looking for is visual lava coming out of a crack. There's been smoke going on here since the end of the last eruption. That's not new. And so especially as it goes from day to night, you know what happens when it goes from day to night? You get lots of evaporative things and so clouds being formed. So what we want to be seeing is lava on the surface, and they've panned out, and maybe for good reason.
Go
ahead.
I was going to say the only source for NBLIS is the In Bliss marijuana dispensary in Missouri.
No. Did you just put that in? Did you just look at it?
Yeah, I looked it up. That's all I could find. I don't know what that is. Is that the name of the chat person that said it was a moss fire?
No, MBI.is is Iceland.
Oh, I got you.
And I do have an article here. I just have to translate it. I just found something. Let me see if I can see what this says. Translating the whole page.
Yeah, now you're fancy. You got the chat booms up there. Clark Fountain. Awesome.
What's happening?
I was looking at your chat function.
Yeah, Clark Fountain, big boom. Thank you. But you had all that room to leave a comment, and nothing. Just $15, and we appreciate that. Helps keep us alive. Now, I've just translated this article coming from nbl.is August 3rd, which is in the future. So this is actually from the future. And let me open the image they're showing. Let me show you this image. Wow. As I read the article, it's exactly, I don't even know what the hell we're looking at. This is amazing. All right, let me share this right now with you. I'm going to stop that. Let's share the article I just pulled up here with the video, with the, all right, we're just going to share that. What the heck is that? Can you see that? Can everybody see that?
That looks like lava to me.
All right, so it says no sign of anything other than a nerve burn. NERVE burn, and this is translated. We came up here between 8 and 9 o'clock tonight, probably. And that's the lights we just saw. These are the guys that are from mbl.is or mbi.is. And they met two rescuers from Grindavik who had just checked it out, the lights we had seen. They told us it was simply a nerve burn. It says NR Igni Richardson, who went up to Fagradalsfjall with another man this evening to find out what's going on.
So that's really dry moss burning?
It's a nerve burn. Don't know what that means yet. And so I'm getting a full article here. I'm going to translate this, and we're translating the page. All right. So here we are at the nerve burn. What do we still have up on the live stream? That picture? All right. So this is the nerve burn, and this is what was pictured earlier tonight. The MBI or MBL.is had reported smoke rising from the ground a short distance west of the lava that fills Geldingadalir or Geldingadalir, the valley. It was somehow unlikely that it was a nerve burn, but we got down on it, and that is it. Still don't know what that is, but the members then continued to march and search. So they went up to Fagradalsfjall, and on the way down, they saw the national radio was saying that civil defense response plan had been activated. That turned out not to be the case, as MBI.is reported later, but went back up to check on the fire. And so here we have confirmation of NR, and let me switch the share here so we can get to the details. We actually have details on this now coming in, and let's share that screen. And so here we see the ANR capturing a picture of the Coast Guard's helicopter as it hovered over the burning moss. So the moss is burning here for a reason, and it's burning across a broad area. And it's, unless there's like 12 or 14 pyromaniacs up here lighting the moss on fire and there was no lightning, what do we think is happening on the surface here? Now, people were walking on the surface, so they would have felt the heat. I mean, you can agree with that. Everyone can agree with me, right?
Yeah.
So the moss is dry. Then the helicopter came, and they must have been wondering what they're doing here. But at least there are no signs of anything other than nerve damage here, he says in an interview with MBL.is on his way home from the scene. When asked, he says he didn't notice if the surrounding ground was particularly hot. However, the nearby moss is dry, so more vegetation can fall prey to this fire. So the ground is not hot, but the vegetation is on fire. Now, is the vegetation on fire hot? Because clearly this is a terrible translation. What is a nerve burn? And the ground isn't hot, but the vegetation is on fire, and it's on fire everywhere where the moss is dry. So that's what's going on here.
I'm guessing nerve has something to do with the way moss is when it's dry. But what started the fire all over these places like that? Is that just jumping from one place to another because of dry strips that burn real fast?
Yeah, but what started it initially?
Al Gore.
All right. No, I think this is definitely related to the magma being in place, and that a couple guys with a flashlight walking around at night are not going to be able to find a hot spot or the hot ground or anything. What are your thoughts? Like
I said, something started the fire, and as you can see, it goes for quite some ways on the ridge right there, and it looks like downhill.
Now your audio is breaking up a little bit.
Shit.
And Victor Deb says this is an Icelandic website. Yes. And we just went to the source of everything that we just showed you live tonight. All of the lights, all the helicopters, the helicopters were Coast Guard. The people on the ground were from this MIL.is that was there earlier today on the ground looking at this site. And there's no sign of anything other than a nerve burn, according to the people that went out there. So I guess we have to agree with them. What do you think, Ransom?
Well, they're there. So
yeah, the helicopter came up, and they must have been wondering what the other people from this group, MBL.is, obviously a media outlet, was doing.
So let me get this straight. There's a fire on the ground, and then they flew a helicopter right over it. I'm sure that helped with it.
Well, the Coast Guard was going out to see what it was because they were uninformed, but MBL.is was already at that on the ground twice. They made that initial video at the sunset that you saw. Then they came back out here tonight while we were watching, and I guess they were reconfirming maybe that it was out or not so bad, or who knows. But according to the people in the area, the ground didn't seem particularly hot. The moss was just dry. So that's what we're seeing tonight at the live stream. And we'll go back to what they're seeing, because I have no ability to do much more searching tonight. I'm exhausted. And here we'll go to the live close-up that's no longer a close-up. Now, does this have any more comments? Are they allowing comments? No, the chat is disabled. There's only one other site that has anyone looking at it, and it's the Volcanic Iceland Monitor in Reykjanes. And so we can go there. So we'll bring you there before we end the stream. And we'll take a look at what they got there. There we are. All right, so we have the microtremor to the bottom left. We have the actual tremor to the bottom left. We have the microtremor at the bottom to the right. And we have the audio sound of what's happening. We have 3 shots, and there is no clear eruption. And we do have chat. So let's take a look at what they're saying over there. The Peanut Gallery the Peanut Gallery is number 1 here. Ruv is facing the same area from a different location. MBL just pulled up too. The flashlights were visible apart from the spot that they're seeing. Starting to think it's moisture on the lens or something. No, that's not what we were watching, moisture on the lens. Yes, it's sunrise there. It's 3 a.m. So apparently the sun rises and sets very rapidly in Iceland at this time of year. And so nothing sustained, dangerous, or anything happening. And glad we just cleared that up. Just some nerve damage. And I'm sure a lot of people's nerves are on edge, especially on the Reykjanes Peninsula. So everyone went out to this region to confirm that there is probably no eruption happening. But what set the moss on fire? And that is the question of the evening. Ransom has left the building. And so we thank Ransom for being in the live stream. Let's go back and share the footage that brought us here, so you can see why we were a little concerned about what was going on the ground there, to bring it to you live. We just got to find the right page. That's all it is. And this was the Twitter notification coming from mbl.is earlier tonight at sunset, where people were on the ground coming out to confirm what was going on in this region, if in fact it was a volcanic in nature. But in this case, it was a nerve burn, which is moss burning in the region. And the question that we should ask is, what lit the moss on fire? And here's a great shot of that, the fire of the moss, shortly after the team got there. And this is what they were witnessing. Now, it would lead a lot of people to believe that this was lit by volcanic activity, but there's only a few guys on the ground. This is a small country with a small team of geologists, and I'm sure they didn't want to spend a lot of time there, but they confirmed that the ground was not hot, but the moss was in fact dry. So whatever sparked this is a mystery, or maybe confirmed, maybe tomorrow, due to more ongoing activity. So that's where we are right now, folks. So what can we conclude from the live stream tonight? We've been going on now for just a little over an hour and 40 minutes. 402 people live on 2 channels. We appreciate you all for being here. Yes, it's August 3rd, according to Wendy Kennedy. She must be in Iceland. 420 clubs all around Missouri. Thank you all for coming. Jackie, Tigger, Scott, New York's. Victor Crosby says he's still got the guy down on the corner here. What a fun live stream. All right, guys, thanks for joining us tonight in the Al gets back in his hole. The link to the story I will give you right here. And this is coming from nbl.is. So just put in nbl.is in your Googler, and you will get links to this story and all the stuff that we just witnessed tonight. And the guys walking around down there and the Coast Guard flying over. And here's a good picture of that plane right above the nerve fire, now that we've gotten to the bottom of it. And I can't paste. I can't even, maybe I didn't pick it up, of course. All right. So this is going back down in here in the stream for you guys. This is where we got all the information from nbl.is. So go check that out. Stick with us. There's the link. And we got it. And that's boom. Ransom had to leave because he's got cops knocking on the door, serving a warrant. Holy shit. For somebody who lives on another street. So that could get interesting. Ransom, we thank you for coming on the show. And we are praying for you to resolve that situation rapidly with a good ending. I always like good endings. I can't find this blue here from Esfera. All right, Esfera, we shared that with you. Thank you, Cheyenne, for recognizing the efforts we put in tonight here. Commentator said he got an email notice. Sophia, thanks for coming to the stream. Wendy Kennedy says she has mushrooms growing everywhere. Well, yeah, that's what happens after you get 10 inches of rain in a single day. All right, we can go out sharing the screen here. This is what's happening. They're running ransom for warrants because they came to the wrong house regardless. Warrantless. And that is what's happening in the undemocratic states of America. The police are running ransom for warrants because they came to the wrong house accidentally. Same thing happened to Rex and I when we were in the national park over here at Mesa Verde last year. We were going to a petroglyph area and we got accosted with automatic weapons. We had to get down on our knees, put our hands on our heads, and they ran us for warrants while we paid to be in the national forest. Absolutely insane. They eventually let us go, but sign of the times. So this shit is about to hit the fan. People's nerves are on edge. And in fact, the nerve is burning. The nerve is burning in Iceland, and we still have more porn coming up on here. We got to get this out of here, man. Block these users, please. Mods, as soon as you see any porn popping up, I just am blocking dozens of pop-ups here. Block these users. Just block the user outright. And they're finding a way to get through here. I can't even block them, so you guys got to block them. Lovechats.xyz. Please block these sites as soon as they come up, and let's get them off of the feed. I'm doing my best to keep up here. There's thousands of these that have just come up here. Oh, Jesus, Christmas. Yeah, and so the question is that how did the moss light on fire here between Fagradalsfjall and Geldingadalir at the exact region where the uplift is occurring? Well, it's anyone's guess where you put 1 + 1 together. Unless you have as many arsonists in Iceland as you do have in California. That's illegal, by the way. I'm telling Ransom it's illegal for them to do that. So fuck the police. Yeah, they've definitely stepped outside of their bounds. All right, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for being in the live stream. Thank you especially for the super chat from Rich Mountains and his steak dinner for my 51st birthday coming up this month. If you want to join us for our my birthday and many other people that are celebrating a birthday at the same time, including the Off-Grid Guru, we'll be at the Crestone Energy Fair the final weekend of August, celebrating natural building and plant medicine and freedom and community and seeds and organic food. We're going to be having a farmer's market there and celebrating all the food from the San Luis Valley and across the other side of the Continental Divide from Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Join us at the Crestone Energy Fair while we, well, keep a close eye on Iceland for you. And we got to the bottom of some of the burning there happening between Fagradalsfjall and Grindavik. And it's clearly moss fire happening, confirmed by the Coast Guard and NBL.is, who are on the ground, the only people that have balls enough to go there. And kudos to them as we share their footage and bring it all up together. And it is our supposition that this has been ignited by the magma and they just weren't able to locate the region. Or it could be something else. Anybody's guess. Be safe. We love you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Shared this with like-minded people. Check out all the links below for everything we talked about. Pray for Ransom, who is now being interrogated by the police. I do not have an update. They are still running me for warrants because they came to the wrong house, according to Ransom. What the fuck? Sign of the times. Arm yourself. Prepare yourself. Get yourself set for what's coming. Nobody's bumming. And if we have anything to update tonight, I'll be around for several hours. We love you. Be safe. Thanks to all the super chats, all the support. We got to the bottom of it. We are the news. And that's a boom. Be safe.